What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
The Art of Self-Defense, starring Jesse Eisenberg, written and directed by Riley Stearns. Independent movie. Very much, if I had to explain this movie in very simple terms, this is the movie you would get if Napoleon Dynamite, the movie, mated with Fistfoot Way, the movie, and they gestated their union over 9 months and then gave birth to another dry, kind of deadpan, dark comedy. And they named it The Art of Self-Defense. That is this movie. It is very much, I mean, it's definitely a dark comedy, which I enjoy dark comedies. I believe I like the handling of the movies. I just feel like they're, from more of a cinematic point of view, from like the craft of filmmaking, dark comedies tend to have better writing, have better acting, have better direction. They just tend to be handled with a little bit more class than some just straight up comedies that just kind of write people as idiots, and then like just stupid people are supposed to be funny instead of actually being a good writer of funny things. This one it's written, the dialogue in this is very robotic. It's very like Aspergery, very robotic, very straight to the point. There's no, it is like I can't even, like, maybe I should have plucked some lines out, but there are, I mean, robotic is the most accurate, just kind of stale and just lifeless. Kind of the dialogue and the things that people say, which kind of fits. It kind of fits the thing. So Jesse Eisenberg plays this character who gets mugged one day on the way. He's going to buy dog food, and on the way back, there's this motorcycle gang, right? Not like Harleys, but like street bikes. And they come and they beat him up. And because of this, he's traumatized. So he goes to, he starts thinking of the things that he could use to defend himself. So he goes to a gun store and he signs up, but you have to do the waiting list, whatever. Why he's on the waiting list to get his handgun. He goes into a karate school and kind of gets into that. And it has like, it's almost in a lot of ways kind of like once he goes to the karate school, it's kind of like a Fight Clubby kind of a office space, which are kind of similar in some ways, but different also. Kind of like an awakening. There's an awakening that happens where he's like discovering that he has kind of hidden strengths, or he's just finally for the first time realizing that he can be he's not the victim of life, right? He can impact life on his own terms. And once he starts learning karate and stuff, which I have a problem with the karate in this movie. Now, I listened to an interview that the director did with David Chen on Culturally Relevant is the podcast name, and they were talking about this movie, and he was saying that he got into jiu-jitsu as a way to learn self-defense and kind of as a way to just kind of build up his self-esteem. And for whatever reason in this movie, he decided to basically use karate because it's just a more well-known martial art. However, in this movie, the karate, quote unquote, is very much jujitsu. Like there's one scene where this female instructor is teaching somebody how to get the back and do a rear naked choke, which has nothing to do with karate. Karate is a stand-up striking punches and kicks. Which there is some of that. They break boards, which I think is more taekwondo. Maybe karate, they break boards too. There's a scene where he's like, you need to kick like a punch, use your foot like a punch, which, is kind of funny. But there's like aspects of it that where he's just learning, where it's just all jujitsu, which is kind of, if it's confusing. It's confusing and just bad writing. Like trying to change, just be honest to what it is. If the character's jujitsu, do jujitsu. Unless it's like some studio note and you had like they're forcing you to change it from jujitsu to karate. I mean, if they're forcing you to change the martial art, then change it. Don't just call jujitsu karate. Kind of like the new Karate Kid, where he goes to China, and like China's where kung fu is from, and then Japan is karate. Uh, so they're calling it the Karate Kid, but he's learning kung fu from Jackie Chan, who does kung fu in movies, not karate. It's just kind of like it's insulting in a lot of ways. It'd be calling it's like somebody playing basketball and you call it football. It's like, well, people know football more than they know basketball, so we're just going to call this sport football. And it's like, well, then you're just insulting all the people that actually know football, right? If it's so well known, then they're not going to believe you. Just stupid. Doesn't fit. But aside from that, the movie's good. It's very slow, very kind of like in a lot of ways, the Napoleon Dynamite and Fistfoot Way comparison, it has that tone, it has that kind of pacing, and Jesse Eisenberg plays a great, especially for this type of dialogue. He plays he's very believable as somebody who would maybe be on the spectrum on some sort. But it also has kind of the karate tropes, the old, kung fu movies, where it's like their dojos have masters, and like the master of this dojo who's no longer around, who created the rainbow belt. I mean, it's like this serious kind of a movie, but there's the ridiculousness, like the rainbow belt. It's just obviously it's like that is the comedy, that this dude made a rainbow belt. And he defeated all the other masters, so he became the ultimate master, and that's why he made the rainbow belt. And it's just like there's these low-key kind of subtle, just comedic moments in this movie that just I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. The overall kind of theme of this movie is a lot of, kind of things that we deal with in our day to day, where it's like, we feel helpless, and like learning a martial art is going to help you build your confidence and build your self-esteem, and also give you the tools to defend yourself if need be. But then this gets into a thing where he finds out that this kind of, there's this underbelly in this karate school that he's going to, which is kind of Fight Clubby, and then he goes into the night class, which is the kind of specialty thing where only the close people get to join. And once you find out that you're kind of in this group, you find out what this group is doing to kind of help maintain and keep the sales and the people coming into the karate school by causing havoc. Finding out that the people that he got originally beat up by were actually the people that are in this studio, or this this karate class. And then the end of the movie, where Jesse Eisenberg learns the finger point touch of death, where he's able to put his finger through the head of the current master to take over and become the master, kind of is a reality check where guns are in reality, somebody with a gun is going to beat any martial art, right? That's why weak, pathetic people get guns, because it instantly makes them more powerful than the other guy, right? Because that's kind of like, you feel like you're going to be threatened. Like people think they're people are going to be constantly attacking them, so they get these things that allow them, without any training, right? You go into martial arts, it takes a long time to become a black belt, to learn the craft and to actually get good at it. To buy a gun, aside from the waiting period, you just need the money, and you get a gun, and then all of a sudden the only thing you need to be able to do to kill somebody when you own a gun is you have to be able to hold it and then curl your finger. That's the only physical ability you really need to have in order to end a human life using a gun. So it's like even the weakest, most pathetic human being can be a murderer, can kill human life just by owning a gun. And that's why guns are so amazing and so helpful in our society. But yeah, I don't know. This movie is fun. I enjoyed it. It's I love the tone of it. I love the darkness of it. And it's the robotic nature of the dialogue is kind of it's one of those weird dark comedies that kind of stuck with me. So go check it out. I think it's on Hulu, maybe Amazon, one of those two. The Art of Self-Defense. Check it out. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!